What up? We at Windy Ridge Bike Park. I never been here, but I heard they have some pretty big jumps, so I guess I'm gonna get myself into trouble.
And get myself into trouble, I most certainly would. This is Windy Ridge Bike Park, and for those of you who, like myself, have never been here, it's a small jump park in Mount Airy, Maryland. But unlike the park itself, the jumps are pretty damn big. Before we get to all of that though, we're gonna have to tackle some of the green trails. Thankfully, they're the closest to the parking lot, and the climb trail is actually really mellow and not super long up to the top either.
Alright, let's hit za za za. Case like shit. That was pretty fun. So I decided to bring along my chest mount. Let's hit this again, different POV.
Coming into another lap down za za za, I feel the need to say that I really don't know how to jump that well, especially on a full suspension, if that wasn't already immediately apparent. And that's actually one of the main reasons I came to Windy Ridge, because I heard that it was a great park for progression.
Floated that time. That's not the right trail.
Now with the warm-up out of the way, it was time to head over to the bigger trails. I chose to take Diesel Weasel, a fast, flowy single-track trail, with some chunky surprises.
Ooh. What the worst line on earth right there, holy. What we got up here? I think this is the climb trail up.
It was a climb trail that took me wildly out of my way instead of directly up to the top, but I did start seeing trails eventually, and eventually it was time to hit the first blue trail, Twisted Britches.
Alright, I'm gonna take it kind of slow, because I don't know what to expect here.
I'm gonna blow through this first lap fast, because it was not that great.
Case. Massive case. Holy shit, dude. Woo-hoo.
So there was definitely some room for improvement, and that can only mean one thing: sessioning this trail all damn day.
Oh.
And by this point, I almost had this trail dialed. I was clearing most of the jumps, and the ones that I wasn't clearing, I had cleared, just not all in a line, and then my camera died. So that's kind of a bummer, I guess.
Believe.
Believe is the newer of the two black jump trails here, and it was definitely pretty big, and I was not feeling very confident after struggling with the blue trail for that long, but I just decided to send it.
Shoo! How am I sending these easier than the blue line? Alright, brake check for that one. I shouldn't have. Oh, big washout on this berm. Crazy step down. Holy.
Then, after a massive struggle getting my phone set up on a tree, It was time to case every single jump repeatedly. Let's go, baby, hell yeah.
Awful. I'm not even doing the rest of the run.
I was having so much fun sessioning this trail, I almost forgot that I suck at jumping. After a close call like that, I walked back up at the top and gave it one more chill lap. Struggled getting my camera off of that tree again. And then a nice little run down to the bottom before I checked out the second of the two black trails here.
We got some good runs down Believe, and I think that means it's time for the last downhill only trail, IDLH. Looks pretty chill.
I don't know what the guy recording this is talking about because it did not look chill. Big step down into massive, probably 20 to 25 foot table.
And I got no idea what's down there. I was mainly just scouting out this part.
With a quick peek down the trail, it was time to blind send it with just extreme confidence.
Do a little feeler run. Massive case. Huge case, but at least now I know you can case it without too much worry. I mean, yeah, I pretty much landed on the upslope there.
In my experience, the first lap is always the scariest, so now it was time to just actually send all these jumps perfectly, second try, with no issue whatsoever, I swear.
Still cased. Ugh. Still cased, but at least my front wheel made it over.
Maybe third try.
That could have been a lot worse.
Did I mention that I really don't know how to jump that well? It definitely shows on these jumps here where you need a lot of skill to actually pop up over the lips and you can't just kind of ride them out.
Still didn't send it. I'm just gonna keep going at this point. Might as well. I don't even know what's on the rest of this trail. Gap I can't send yet. Heavily resisting the urge to just hit Believe again, because I gotta at least send some of the jumps on IDLH.
And I definitely tried to do that. These jumps were big and very out of my comfort zone, but I tried my hardest to at least like give them all a good send, and this is probably my favorite trail here, even though I didn't send most of the jumps. It's just so fast and flowy, and it's just awesome. Case just about every single one of those. God. And at some point during one of these laps, I must have bumped my derailleur or knocked it out of alignment or something, because it was all screwed up.
Put this goddamn thing in neutral, holy.
Nothing like a quick little trail side fix to keep the day interesting.
Now we're back in action, and my goggles are properly fogged up. I feel like I could session these top two jumps all goddamn day. So I'm gonna show just a little bit of self-control, and I'm not gonna do that. I do want to try to hit this little side trail. It's a little more like single track, chunky.
This side trail, I'm fairly sure, was just so that people could walk back up after sessioning those first 2 jumps like I had been for the past hour or so. But it looked kind of fun to ride down, so I did.
Alright, let's do this little side hit. Pretty sure that might just be a skip if you don't want to hit those first 2 big jumps, which is so valid. I don't think I ever turned the clutch back on my derailleur. Oh. I just looked at my GoPro. It's at 3%. I do have another battery that's charged, is what I was gonna say before that battery died. Apparently 3% does not get you as far as I thought it would.
Now that I've hit all the trails here, I decided to go back to the one I had the most fun with.
Tits and believe again. Case.
And just like that, it was time to call it a day.
So that was Windy Ridge Park. Oh man, it goes downhill. I was not ready for this. Gotta do the one-handed. There we go. So that was Windy Ridge Park. I hope you enjoyed. This place is sick. A lot of dope jump trails for progression and stuff. Even the green trails were super fun. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Hip bag kind of makes my ass look fat.